Disney's Hollywood Studios has some of the best attractions and well-themed rides in all of the world, and definitely one of the best Disney parks in the entire country. From Hollywood Boulevard to the movies and Star Wars to Toy Story Land, there is so much to do at Hollywood Studios, but where does all the rides rank on a list from the worst attraction all the way to the best? In today's video, I'm going to rank every single ride at Hollywood Studios from my personal least favorite all the way to my favorite ride at the park and could be my favorite ride of all time. I've been visiting these parks since I was a little kid, so over 25 years. I'm very excited to rank these rides. Comment your rankings down below or even your top 3. Hollywood Studios has 9 attractions. We're going to start at my least favorite, and I think all the attractions here are actually pretty fun, so I wouldn't say it's the worst, but it's my least favorite is Alien Swirling Saucers. This is a ride that you'll find at most theme parks or a variation of this ride. It's just a spinning ride. It's not too uncontrollable spinning like Mad Tea Party, but in reality, there's just so much better, well-themed attractions at this park that we will definitely get into. At number 8, I have a hot take. I think Smugglers Run will probably be my 8th and my second least favorite at the park. Smugglers Run is only fun for me personally if you're in the pilot seat. I've got pilot seat 1 out of the 8 times I've rode this ride, and getting the engineer is just fun. It's okay, but when you have people in the front seat, especially kids that are the pilots, that if you don't know, the ride reacts on how you fly it. So if you're very rough and you're flying all over the place, it is simulating a rough and experienced ride. You're going to be shaking all over like the simulator intends. Like I said, this ride is very fun. I like punching the hyperspace. It's one of the coolest experiences of all time in that pilot seat. But 99% of the time when I ride this, to avoid the line, I go through the single rider line. I don't get to do the pilot seat. So that's why I'm going to put it at 8. And if you get a really good experience and you get the Chewy mode, that's actually a lot of fun. I've never got it before, but I've seen videos. Number 7, we're going to Toy Story Land. We're going to the size of a toy. We have Slinky Dog Dash, one of the coolest family-themed roller coasters of all time. There's nothing too crazy about this. I'm definitely a roller coaster enthusiast. I love thrills. You don't get a lot of thrill hills. You get a lot of little bunny hills. You get a launch, but that's pretty much about it. But it's just so cool themed, very cute themed to Toy Story. But if you're a family coming to this park, I highly recommend this. Now, I recommend rope dropping this or getting a lightning lane because the line is going to be extremely long for no reason for this ride. But yeah, it's a perfect family roller coaster, a perfect first roller coaster for anybody. It was my cousin's first roller coaster when she was 4, but it's so much fun. Number 6 is bound to change very soon is Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith. This roller coaster, I love the pre-show, one of the best pre-shows of all time. The launch is fantastic, but this model of it, this spaghetti bowl style roller coaster, definitely has shown its flaws and its age over the years, especially with roughness and shakiness on the head. It's the only roller coaster at Disney World that does go upside down though. Like I said, this is changing to the Muppets soon, so I'm intrigued to see if the theme is going to be better or worse, but I am really, really sad that it was not chosen for Powerline to be the re-theme, but we'll see how the Muppets are. Like I said, in conclusion, you get some good theming, you get some good inversions, but I think overall the ride is definitely showing its age. I think if they could refurbish it a little bit with maybe a few retracts, I don't know what they could do with it, but the ride's really fun. I like this ride. Like I said, every ride here I kind of like, minus Alien Swirling Saucers, but it's good for right now. Let's see how the Muppets is. At number 5, you have one of my favorite attractions of all time, and definitely most nostalgic ride is Star Tours. I think this ride has over 30 or 60 different endings or possibilities or combinations of the scenes you can get. I got to ride this year on May 4th on Star Wars Day, and Darth Vader showed up on our trip. I've never seen that many people clap or be unexcited for a ride in my life. Definitely one of the most re-rideable rides in all of Disney World, and there's another one that's re-rideable coming up on this list, but I love this ride. I like the screen for it. I think it is better than Smugglers Run. It can be a little bit shaky at time. If you don't like 3D rides, it's definitely not for you for simulators. But I love this ride. I love Star Wars. I'm a diehard Star Wars fan, and I will forever love this ride. I will never forget when I'm walking down the line. When I was like 7 years old, there was a stormtrooper walking out of the exit line, and I got to talk to him, and then he was asking me questions. I was playing Battlefront at the time, and I'm like, I use you guys on my game every single time. And it was just the coolest experience for me as like a 7-year-old, or like I was like 6 or 7, I don't know. Number 4, going back to the Toy Story area, is Toy Story Mania, the most re-rideable ride and one of the most fun experiences you can have on all of Disney property, especially if you're a really competitive person. This is a dark ride mixed with a game, and then you're shooting the targets with definitely Minnie different interactive screens or different interactive scenes, and I completely love this ride. You just, every single time you ride it, you have to beat your previous score or the person or the car or the people that are competing against you. But next time you're going on the ride, the tip for you is if you guys work together and get a certain score, there is a bonus scene that you can get, so everybody gets more bonus points. But if you can work towards that bonus scene and work together and not compete against each other, you can get bonus scenes, bonus points. Also, if you do remember your high score, make sure you comment your high score down below for Toy Story Mania. I want to see who has the highest score in all the comments. Number 3 is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Mickey and Minnie's first ride ever in the Disney parks, which is crazy to say like 50 or 60 years later for the parks. But yeah, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is one of the most underrated attractions in all of Disney property. I love the animation style of this. The pre-show is just so cool, and seeing that screen do it what it does. I don't want to spoil it for you, but this trackless interactive, trackless ride is just so interactive. The scene with Daisy Duck and just everything in this ride is just so incredibly well done. I love the animation style of it, and truly is, I just love this ride. I'm so happy that Mickey and Minnie finally did get their ride, and it definitely paid off. The wait definitely paid off for it. If you haven't been on this is over by, in the middle of the park, over by the Chinese Theater. You have to ride this your next time. The wait's usually 35 to 45 minutes, but it's definitely worth it. Or if you want to get a, fast pass or lightning lane for it, you can definitely do that. Number 2, I know it's a hot take. I have Rise of the Resistance. Star Wars Rise of the Resistance is one of the most iconic and legendary dark rides to ever exist, and it will go down forever. It's probably one of the best dark rides ever to be built. The line is fantastic. The pre-shows are absolutely fantastic. I think you have 3. You go into the pod, then you go onto the ship with all the stormtroopers looking at you. Going through that for the first time is one of the most mind-boggling experiences of ever. Getting off the transport ship after you get intercepted. I don't know how to explain that feeling to you, because you feel like you're truly in space. You're not at Disney. You're not in Florida. You're truly on a Disney Star Wars ship. I love how the cast members kind of have free range to talk with you however you want. I've definitely had some really fun interactions with the cast members because they can act like they're actually part of the First Order. I was lucky enough to go to the Disney parks the week or the week after this opened, and I got to experience this ride with the cannons working, with A mode, everything working. The AT-AT scene, just going into that scene is just incredible. Seeing the AT-ATs in front of you, just a Star Wars dream for me. Like, Star Wars is one of my favorite franchises of all time, and seeing that in person just truly was mind-boggling. Some of the animatronics on here, especially on the transport ship or the BB-8 figure, there's just so much on this ride, so many little things, or the lightsaber going through the walls or anything. It's just, how does that even work? Like, you're there, like my girlfriend and I rode this last year, May 4th this year, and she's like, how did that even work? Like, how did they even do that? It's just incredible what this ride is. Definitely one of the most expensive rides of all time, but I love this. The only thing holds it back is because the cannons aren't working, and I'm not really a big fan of the sequel movies, unfortunately. Number 1, the greatest attraction of all time, in my opinion, the best Disney attraction of all time, is the Tower of Terror. Tower of Terror, in my opinion, is one of the greatest attractions of all time ever built, and yes, it's better than the Guardians version in California, but walking down Hollywood Boulevard, your experience on this ride starts before you even get onto the ride. Walking down Hollywood Boulevard, hearing the screams from the top of the ride, seeing that, it's the perfect, well-themed ride of all time. I think it's Disney's perfect attraction. As you wait in line for Tower, you're definitely sent back to that 50s or 60s theming that they're trying to replicate with the music in line, and especially walking to the queue. I wish there was a little bit more of the hotel that you could walk through, because the hotel is so well themed with the cobwebs, the lobby, and so much more. Maybe Disney can open up you could stay there for one night. I don't want to stay in the castle. I want to stay in the Tower of Terror. But fun fact, you can actually get married on the balcony behind Tower of Terror that's connected to the Tower of Terror, which would actually be pretty cool. But getting on the ride, the pre-show is iconic. The Tower of Terror, the music, the pre-show, I absolutely love. Going to the boiler room. This is a perfect theme experience for me. Getting on this ride and entering the Twilight Zone, in the technology that was built for when it was built, I think this was in 89, is just truly incredible how it stands up to today's time. And it's also an automated, so it's a randomized system of your drops. You'll never get the same experience on this ride. I want to give a shout out. They also have the glam bot on this. So a lot of people so if you take the photo, it takes a little video of you. You can do a little mini glam bot so you can feel like you're popular. Get your 15 seconds of fame there. but you can scan your Disney band or you can scan your app and you can get that video sent to your phone. It's actually pretty cool, and shout out to all the creators that started doing that last year. I remember sitting in my house watching ads for this before I'd gone Disney trips as a kid and seeing all the iconic videos of it, of the advertisements of the hats flying off and so much more, and seeing the iconic ride sign as you would go down the ride as you're driving to Hollywood Studios. It's no longer there, so rest in peace, the sign. But I will forever love Tower of Terror. I think it's one of the best Disney attractions of all time. I think it's the best in Hollywood Studios, but make sure you comment yours down below. I try to keep this video as short as I can for the rankings for you guys. If you want more short form content, make sure you guys follow us on TikTok. We are just over 100,000 followers on there, but that is my full rankings of every ride at Hollywood Studios from worst to best. I think every ride's fun here. Every ride's enjoyable in its own right, but my favorites, that's my rankings. But make sure you comment yours down below. If you want to do all 9, do that too. Also, make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, and comment what park you want me to do next or a review for a park.